Hello, loves. Welcome back. Or if you are new here, I am so happy to have you. Welcome. Take a deep breath and let the world outside start to fade away. Tonight, we are stepping into a grand, dark theater where history is not a single story, but a production performed with two very different scripts. One script is the official version. It was written for the Enlightenment elites of Europe, designed to show a Russia that was modern, humanitarian, and glowing under the light of reason. But behind the heavy curtain lies the other script, the unwritten reality of an autocracy that relied on human skin and absolute power to keep its enormous machinery running. Let us watch as the play begins. In the first script, we see a young girl named Sophie. She arrives from Prussia with nothing but her ambition. She reinvents herself, becomes Catherine, and embraces her new home with a fervor that startles the court. She stays up late into the night, learning the Russian language, often standing barefoot on the cold floor to keep herself from falling asleep. She is a woman of the mind, a philosopher who eventually curates a collection of 44,000 books. She corresponds with the great thinkers, calling Voltaire her Star of the North. They discuss English gardens, the wonders of science, and the welfare of the world. In this script, she is the Enlightener-in-Chief, bringing civilization to a land of snow and icons. Catherine spends 2 years writing her great instruction, the Nakaz. She drafts 526 articles, each one a promise of justice and reason. She whispers to the world that Russia is a European power. She speaks of the equality of citizens, the abolition of torture, and the duty of a ruler to act for the mutual good. To the salons of Paris, she is Minerva, the goddess of wisdom, a sovereign who rules not by the whim of her heart, but by the stability of the law. This is the script the world was meant to see. But the philosophers in their warm salons worked only on paper. And paper is smooth. It is flexible. It offers no resistance to the imagination. When Denis Diderot traveled all the way to St. Petersburg to suggest his grand reforms, Catherine leaned in and whispered a chilling truth. She told him, "You work only on paper. But I, poor Empress, I work on human skin, which is far more irritable and sensitive." She knew that the machine of the state was not fueled by ink, but by the labor of millions who were never permitted to see the play. Let us leave the palace behind and walk the corduroy roads of the second script. A traveler stops his carriage and sees a peasant plowing a field. It is Sunday, the hottest part of the day, yet the man labors with a quiet, desperate ease. The traveler asks, "Do you not rest on Sundays?" The peasant crosses himself and explains, "In a week there are 6 days, and 6 times a week we work on the master's fields." The nights are the only time he has for himself, and the Sundays, because the master demands every sheep, every hen, every piece of linen. On the master's fields there are 100 hands for one mouth, but on his own he has only 2 hands to feed 7 mouths. This is the reality written on the skin. Twice every week, the empire is informed of those who cannot pay their debts. In the hall of Medno, the souls are brought out for sale. An old man of 75, leaning on an elmwood cane. He carried his wounded master off the field of battle, He saved his master from drowning. He even bailed him out of prison. Now, he stands motionless, waiting to see who will buy him, wondering who will be the one to close his eyes when he finally dies. Beside him, an 18-year-old girl. Her cheeks are crimson. Her eyes are filled with a quiet despair. She holds a tiny infant, the fruit of her master's violence. The dreaded hammer falls, a hollow thud, and the family is torn apart, sold like cattle to the highest bidder. The play continues, but the actors are weary. Catherine, the patron of arts, owned 500,000 serfs. In a single day, she gave away 100,000 souls as gifts to her lovers. While she wrote letters about the rights of man, she signed legislation that prohibited serfs from ever petitioning her directly. The golden age for the nobility was a dark, endless night for the millions tied to the land, treated as property, as chattel, while the machinery of the autocracy ground on, sensitive and irritable. Then comes the beast, enormous, disgusting, 100 maws and barking. A man named Pugachev emerges from the shadows of the steppe, claiming to be the dead Tsar Peter III, the husband Catherine had unseated. He promises to return the ancient liberties, to end the taxes, to give the land back to those who actually till it. Hundreds of thousands rise, a storm of violence that burns cities and slaughters the masters. Catherine, the Enlightened, responds with the cold force of an autocrat. The rebellion is crushed, and Pugachev is brought to Moscow in an iron cage to be quartered in public. The beast is silenced, for now. Look into the mirror of history. In the painting, Catherine wears a serene smile, draped in a gown of silver brocade. But her reflection is different. It is private, ambitious, and cold. She was a woman of deep contradictions, a child who came to a country that was not her own and remade it in her own image. She died in her bed of a stroke, while the malicious myths of her lovers and her horses circulated through the gossip of Europe. The play ended. The actors left the stage, but the machinery of the autocracy remained, waiting for the next script to be written on the same sensitive human skin. That's it for tonight on Catherine the Great. Maybe I'll do some more in-depth videos about her or the Romanovs in the future. Or if you have any suggestions, let me know what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Good night.